Here we are, we're in the greenside bunker. So what's a good technique to get out of the bunker? What's a good technique to get out of the bunker and get the ball close? That's the idea, right? So, you ever heard the bunker's the easiest shot in golf because you don't have to actually hit the ball, you have to actually hit the sand first. So good bunker shots are about hitting the sand first, making the right noise. So how do we make the right noise? That might sound a bit confusing to some of you, but if you've ever watched golf on TV, you'll hear a distinctive noise from a lot of really good players when they're coming out of the bunkers. And a lot of that will depend on how the sand is. Is it fluffy or is it firm? But generally speaking, we want a good noise. Now, to make a good noise, we have to hit the bottom part of the club, which is called the bounce, or towards the back part of the club, which is the bounce. That needs to be entering the sand first to make the correct noise. If this part of the club comes into the sand first, which is what we're generally trying to do on the grass, well then we're going to make a swishy noise. So we don't want a swishy noise, we want a thumpy noise. So how do we make a thumpy noise? So before we even talk about what part of the sand we want to hit and how we're going to stand and where the ball's going to be positioned, let's look at the right noise. So if the club face is square or straight and the leading edge digs in too quickly, we're going to hear a swish, a swish. And what we want is we want the club face to actually be open. In this case, the ball's not buried, so we want to have an open club face. And we want to make a thumping noise. So if you can make that sort of thumping noise, you're halfway there. So how do we set up to it? What do we do? Where does the ball get positioned and how do we stand? So generally speaking, and this is my opinion, is that we always want to have a low center of gravity with bunker shots. So we don't want to be standing in up tall, we want to be low and have our hands positioned down low. So you can see a difference there in hand position. So we're going to open up the club face, which we've discussed in some of our other videos. What do we do with club face? If you open it and you haven't changed anything here, nothing's changed here. That hasn't changed a thing. We have to twist the club in our fingers first, then reset our grip, pretending like the club's normal and square, but it's not, it's open now. And to set up to the ball, we certainly want a nice sturdy base. So anytime we're on loose sand, we want to be sturdy, and we're allowed to do that. We're going to position ourselves further away from the ball than we normally would be. So I'd normally, if I was on grass right now, I'd like to be here. But because we want to get lower and get bouncy, we want to be a little bit further away from it. We want the ball left of the center, left of your sternum or left of your middle of your feet. A nice open club face. Weight a little bit into that left knee if your left knee can handle it. If not, just try and do your best to get onto your left side. Stay on your left side. One of the most common mistakes we see in bunker shots are people trying to help the ball up in the air. That's a disaster because you're going to end up bottoming out well before your time and well before you're due. Ideally, we want to hit somewhere between 5 centimeters to, let's say, an inch behind the ball. And if you can throw some sand onto the green or onto, let's say in this instance here, onto the grass, well then there's going to be enough energy for the ball to get thrown out onto the green. So here we go, we're going to try and demonstrate a bunker shot here. We're going to wriggle our feet, ball slightly left. Now I've heard this before, people say open stance in bunker shots. You don't really need to be open, you just need to be parallel left. You could argue that that's open. That means your feet line is parallel but left of your target. So we're digging our feet in, the club face is open. We're not holding the thing too tight because the thing's not buried. A little bit of weight into that left side. Now we're trying to make a thumping noise. We made a good noise. We had enough energy to get it out. We hope some of these tips will help you guys be a bit more confident and a bit more consistent in your bunker play. Make the right music out of the bunker and you're halfway there.